Hey guys, welcome back to Loft Sports. I'm Tyler. Going to be looking at the recap for the Notre Dame game Monday night against Louisville. Irish come away with a 35-17 victory. A lot to take away from the first game as usual. Some good, some bad. Very sloppy first quarter. I think I'm not alone when I say I was a little bit concerned when the score was 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. Louisville was ahead. They were gashing us with run plays. They looked like the more amped up team. They looked like they wanted it more early on. They were pushing us off the ball on both sides. I was a little bit concerned. We settled down, made some adjustments. I liked the way the defense adjusted. They only scored 3 points after the first quarter. I felt like we were a little overhyped. Jumped off sides a couple times in the first series, gave them shorter third downs. And then on the offensive side, Book was shaky. First drive, he makes a great play right out of the gate, scrambles for like 50 yards, but inconsistent in the pass game, happy feet in the pocket, very nervous, didn't look like himself from a year ago, runs into his own lineman, fumbles the football after a big turnover from the defense. He's got to be better, plain and simple. The O-line was feast or famine. We had a great day on the ground, but there was a few third downs later in the game where I thought we'd push them off the ball, and we got stuff. If we think at all we can hang with Georgia or Michigan or Stanford, we have got to be better. Louisville's lines are undersized. They cannot get penetration. They cannot dominate the line of scrimmage. Now, again, I always stress this to every fan base. Do not overreact to the first game. There's a reason. There's kinks to work out. There's no reason to panic. We did make adjustments. We did pull away. There was reason to be concerned early, but Louisville was at home. It was a night game. It was a blackout. There was a lot of hype around this game. New coach, new atmosphere. They could be a better team than the 2-10 team they were last year, so let's not overreact and panic. Alright, so in my preview video last week, I gave 3 keys that Notre Dame had to handle if they were going to win this football game, and we'll see how good the Irish did. Number 1 was run the ball. We had to establish the run game if we were going to win this game. We were the more dominant team, I felt, going in. If we couldn't run the football, I knew we were going to be in trouble. Number 2, we had to get off the field on third down. If you allow a team like Louisville to extend drives, stay in the game, that builds their confidence, makes it tougher to put them away in the end. And then number 3 was a piggyback off that. Turn the dagger. When you get up by touchdown or 2 touchdowns late in the game, you've got to make that knockout blow and land it. Number 1, running the football. The Irish rushed for over 200 yards, had over 100 yards in the first quarter alone, finished around 230. So I would say A+ there. We were able to establish the run game. A lot of running backs got carries. I felt like we did a good job there. Third down conversions, we were terrible in the first half, but they finished 6 of 15 on third down. That's right around 40%. Overall, that's a pretty good percentage for defense. That's not bad for the first game when you're working out some kinks and getting some young guys, baptized by fire. And number 3 was turn the dagger. I feel like we did do that. We got our running game going a little bit in the second half. We scored a couple touchdowns in the second half, kind of took the air out of that stadium. People were leaving at the end of the third quarter, even though the game really wasn't over yet. And then we got a late touchdown in the fourth quarter to kind of put the thing on ice. So I thought the Irish did a good job in all 3 of those assets there. So a few things I liked that the Irish were able to do Monday night in their win. Number 1 was the running game. Although it was inconsistent at times, we did rush for over 200 yards. I liked our sophomore running back. He's actually from Sanford, North Carolina, right down the street from where we live. He had 2 touchdowns. Tony Jones Jr. had some big runs. Ian Book scrambled. The running game I liked. We forced 3 turnovers on defense. They forced more fumbles than that, but we were able to recover 3 of those, and they were all crucial at times. Led to a couple touchdowns. We only had 4 penalties. That's awesome for a first game. A lot of jitters usually in a first game. Only 20 yards, so all 4 penalties were 5-yard penalties. Didn't do anything stupid, didn't extend drives. I love that. And the defense made adjustments. They struggled early, but we worked it out, and we were able to figure things out and held them to 3 points in the final 3 quarters. Some things I didn't like. Book's inconsistency. Like I said earlier, he's got to play better if we're going to make a run at a New Year's Six Bowl or even a playoff. He settled down a little bit. We got the passing game going in the second half, but his inconsistency worried me a little bit. Louisville had almost 250 yards rushing. That's another thing that concerned me. Our defensive line is this great defensive line, supposedly. They can't let Louisville push us off the ball. With some of the opponents we got coming up down the road, that just can't happen, mostly Georgia and Michigan. And then Louisville had 21 first downs. That's a lot of first downs for a team to have in a game. I think we need to clean some things up there. But overall, we got the win. It was a Power 5 opponent. We didn't lose to Georgia State at home, or so, we didn't have trouble with a major opponent. Louisville is a team in the ACC. Like I said, they'll probably be better than what they were last year. So overall, I'll take the win. We won by 18. Didn't quite cover the spread, but it was close. The spread was 19. We won by 18. So Irish get on the board with a win. Unfortunately, we're idle next week, so I don't have a game to talk about, but we'll be back in week 3 to face New Mexico. Go Irish. This is Loft Sports signing off.